Hi, we're Diamond and Silk, and we love the Naked Truth Report.
As a Truth Warrior listener, I want you to, each and every one of you, donate $1. This is Antoinette, and I'm going to do it. You need to do it. Go to the website, the Naked Truth Report. Merry Christmas.
Warning, the following program has been rated T for truth.
You can't handle the truth.
Oh, we think you can. Welcome to the Naked Truth Report with your host, Truth Warrior and Mythbuster Kathleen Wells. The place where we distinguish fact from fiction, where data is used to drive points home, and where Kathleen takes the position that Democrats and black politicians have destroyed black America. Welcome to the Naked Truth Report. Now, your host, Kathleen Wells.
Hi, welcome to the Naked Truth Report. I'm your host, Kathleen Wells. Hi, Ronnie. There's Ronnie's RJ's son, Ronnie, waving to me. Hi, Truth Warriors. This is Kathleen Wells, the host of the Naked Truth Report. I just read, I want to say Merry Christmas, and I want to ask you, how is your Christmas season going? President Biden says we're supposed to have we should be anticipating a dark winter. Yeah, that things are going to be dark and dangerous because of why? The O. You know what the O is? I don't know if I can say it. I might say, I think I can say the O. Can I say the O, the Omicron V? I'll say it once because I would like to download this show to YouTube. Go to my website and check out the book there that I'm promoting right now. I saw Robert F. Kennedy Jr. on The War Room, and this sounds fantastic, and I haven't ordered it yet, but you can order it from my website, and it is titled The Real Anthony Fauci, Bill Gates at War on Democracy and Public Health. I got to read it because I listened to that interview with Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and he said that the intelligence agencies were involved with the Wuhan leak. It's a comprehensive book. It's chock full of information. I definitely want to get it. I want you to get it too. I'm going to get it next week, and we're going to talk about it on the radio show after I read it. I'm going to read it. I think it's important. I've got other books there. I also have Trump Time by Peter Navarro on the website. And this is another book that, and I heard Peter Navarro, I listened to an excerpt from it, and it goes into detail. This is stuff we need to know. This is armor we need in our, what is it, like military bag. This is armor that we need in our purse or bag to fight against all the lies and propaganda. Everything on TV is a lie. It's propaganda. In the news, there are very few outlets, very few talking heads, very few sources where you can find the truth. And I found the truth last week from who? Dr. Peter McCullough. He interviewed with Joe Rogan. That full interview is in my show notes, so go to the website and check it out. It's 3 hours long, and it's very comprehensive, and it goes over everything like what, for instance? COVID is not, let's see, if you're asymptomatic, you can't pass on. Oh, I said the word. I said it. That means I can't. Did you hear me say it, Ronnie? C, if you're asymptomatic, you cannot pass it on. You have to have the sign. And if you're asymptomatic, you shouldn't be getting tested. You should be having symptoms. When you have the flu, do you go and get tested for the flu? No, you treat it. Early treatment is the clue, is the answer. Yes. It's a 3-hour interview. It's comprehensive. He goes over everything. We know that masks are not effective at all. We've talked about that before. We know, what else do we know? Let me look up a few things. I wrote them down. You want to get the book that he recommended and I have that listed on my website. You can purchase it on my website. It's by Dr. Peter Breggin. I can't say it, and when I'm saying C, I'm not saying cancer. You know I'm saying C. C-19 and the global predator. We are the prey. I want to read that too by Peter Bregan. We've got to know these details. Knowing these details are important. The other point I want to the other fact that Dr. Peter McCullough pointed out is that the percentage of people that less than 1% of people who get COVID. Oh, I said it again. I'm sorry. Now, see, this will probably not be able. It will be banned from YouTube because I said it too many times. And my engineer says that the algorithms, they check it really quickly and they can catch it if you say it a few times. Anyway, the big C. What was I going to say? Oh, less than 1% die from it when they get it, and it's the same thing with the V. The people who get the V, who will suffer adverse impacts, adverse reaction, it will be less than 1%. It's that because it's why? Because it's putting the spike protein in your system, which will attack your cells, your heart, your brain, your uterus, everything. It goes everywhere. Okay. But if you continue to get the V, you know what the V is. If you continue to get it, and I was listening to Meet the Press driving in, and I heard I think it was the governor from Colorado, one of the politicians from Colorado talking about getting 3 Vs, 2 Vs and the B, which he said is basically 3 Vs. Let me tell you, Peter McCullough says the more you get the Vs, it's accumulating in your system. So you don't want to get, if you got 1, if you got 2, okay, you after, I think he says 6 months to a year, it will probably come out of your system. But if you continue to get it, it will start accumulating, and therefore you will have more people who are suffering adversely from getting it, because that spike protein will be still in your system and projecting into your brains, into your cells, into your brain, blah, 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 right? Into your heart. Now, this is the other thing he brought up, myocarditis. These young kids should not be getting this V at all, because they don't get. The only children that have suffered from the C are ones who have comorbidities, and it's such a small percentage. A child has a greater likelihood of getting myocarditis from the V than suffering or being hospitalized from respiratory C. Okay? If the child, and most children are healthy, only the few that have suffered had comorbidities. They had other issues. So this is why and because this is not, this V is not FDA approved, it's still, and I called into Washington Journal yesterday and said that it is still gene therapy under emergency use. It is not FDA approved. Any doctor that encourages you to get the V is violating bioethics. They're violating the Nuremberg codes. This is what I've learned from Peter McCullough's interview with Joe Rogan, which I said is downloaded into my show notes. So you can go to my website and check that out. Check out all the details. I mean, you can check out the actual interview. It's 3 hours. You're going to love it. It's everything you need to know about the C, about the V, from Dr. Peter McCullough. Now, what is the other thing that he mentioned is, I wanted to title the show. I don't know if I want to title the show that we are in an information war, or we are in information warfare. I think that might be the title, or censorship. This is an alternative title. Censorship is the collapse of democracy. What do you think of that title? You see, they've been censoring us, right, Ronnie? They've been we are in 2 years. We are at the 2-year mark, and Pfizer said that this will continue until 2024. You see, it's serious, folks. Well, we knew it was serious, and we didn't know how long this would go on. But this is what's happening. And there will actually be a march on Washington, January 23rd, against the M, the mandatory V. A march on Washington, January 23rd. The longer this goes on, the more people are becoming aware, because it's the more illogical it seems, right? Because we just now found out that Cory Booker, who is fully V'd and fully B'd, and Elizabeth Warren, who is fully V'd and fully B'd, have just tested positive for the C. You see? It's illogical. It doesn't even make sense, okay? So the other thing it doesn't make sense to people anymore. It's like enough already. And the good news is what? The good news is that Trump is going to come up with his social media platform in January. Now, this is good news because, and they're also partnering with Rumble. I asked you to go and join my Rumble. Now, you know I'm going to be Trump's social media platform. It's called Truth Social. It's going to be in January, if I'm not mistaken. Now we'll be getting the information that we need to know, that the American people need to know. This platform will be for the American people, and they will not be able to be deplatformed, and neither will Rumble. They're partnering with Trump. They will not be able to be deplatformed the way everyone was deplatformed or censored from big tech, Twitter and Facebook and wherever else, right? So this is going to be a good thing. So this is something we have to look forward to after experiencing this dark Christmas that we're experiencing for the second year. It's not like a normal Christmas because they're trying to control us. In fact, the health minister in Germany just said that everyone must get vaccinated. Ooh, I almost said it. Did you guys? Did I say it? He said the health minister of Germany said everyone must get V'd ASAP. You see? So Europe, listen, Australia is gone. This is the other thing I learned from the interview with Dr. Peter McCullough. This is a fantastic thing to know because they censored early treatment. We know what the early treatments are, HQ and I, right? Those are the early treatments, and there are many others. We know that Dr. Vladimir Zelenko has a protocol. Dr. Peter McCullough has a protocol. But also we have the example of Bangladesh, which has no cases. Why? Because they cleanse their nose. They cleanse their nose with hydrogen peroxide, and then they cleanse their throat. And also, Dr. Peter McCullough talks about, there are many things that could have been done. There are many ways in which this issue could have been approached where we are not where we are here today. The only thing that they have offered, the establishment folks, the deep state players, the elitists, the globalists, the folks that want to reset and control and have all the power over the people, over the globe, they offered only one way to go, and that was to get the V. And you cannot V your way out of a virus. But there are many ways to treat or to deal with or to handle this C. Many, many ways. And Bangladesh is an example of a country that handled it differently. They have no cases because they cleanse their nose and they cleanse their throat with hydrogen. And it's like everyone does that. And if you feel that and this is how it works, if you feel you come into contact, or if you know you come in contact with someone who has symptoms, because if you're asymptomatic, you're not going to be transmitting the C. But if you come into contact with someone with symptoms, you gargle and swallow a little and spit out, and then you cleanse your nose. That's what they do in Bangladesh. And they have no cases. Hello. So that was one thing I wanted to say. How did I get onto that? I forgot. So And then we know about what is it? Monoclonal antibodies. There are many ways that this could have been dealt with. In fact, that's what the governor of Florida has instituted. He's has a program where everyone can get monoclonal antibodies, and irrespective if you're V or not V'd. Now, some people have said they have used some arbitrary decision. If you're V'd, you can't get a monoclonal antibody. I think that's in Texas or something like that. Anyway, all of this is arbitrary, and all of this is just mainly trying to control the people. And this is another thing I learned, that they have now changed the definition. Now, we know they changed the definition of V, right? Now, let's see. Robert Kennedy says Webster's Dictionary is coming out with a new definition for an anti-Ver, and someone who's against Ver. Now they say an anti-Ver is someone who doesn't agree with mandatory Vs, you see. So, I mean, I don't know if I can get this. So the other thing I want to say is that, I want to mention, remember when, more than once, Biden has referred to Kamala Harris as the president. Now, remember when Biden said that I'm paraphrasing, he said something to the effect, we have established the most capable fraud integrity or something like that. I can't even remember how he put it. But in other words, election possible. I'm not even supposed to use the word F or E because they delete those videos also. But anyway, Biden said that. So these are like Freudian slips. And also he met with the DNC the other week, and said, we are going to win the midterms. Okay, this says to me, and the fact that he keeps calling Kamala more than once president, this says to me that there's some this is his unconscious mind working. These ideas are in his head on an unconscious or subconscious level. So I'm thinking there's some shenanigans going on. They have something in the works to make these things happen. Something in the works for them to win, for the Democrats to win the midterm election, and something in the works for Kamala to be president. I'm thinking it's possible because he did say we have established the most effective voter for F mechanisms possible, and yet that's what they did. Okay, another thing I want to mention. We know that, let's see. Manchin said he was on Fox with Brett Baier, and he mentioned he will not vote for the Build Back Better bill. Definitively no. So what will they do? I guess the Democrats have now pivoted to voter rights, but will they try to bring back the Build Back Better bill in the new year? Will they change it? Who knows? They're going to try and push it. Are they going to probably blackball Manchin or something? Who knows? They're going to do something. They're going to have some shenanigans or something up their sleeves to get this done. The other thing I want to mention is that Adam Schiff with the January 6th committee, he doctored a text message that Jim Jordan had sent to Mark Meadows. He doctored it. Now, you see these, remember that Biden's brother said that plausible deniability? They're never held accountable, and so they do whatever they want. We are their mere prey. They tell us anything. And let me tell you, the only people who believe what the politicians say and these talking heads on these shows, the only people that believe the talking heads and the politicians at this point are people who can't do research outside of watching TV or outside of listening to these people. Because if you can do research outside, if you can find that interview with Peter McCullough and Joe Rogan, which was banned, censored, deplatformed from YouTube. You can find it on Rumble. You can find it in my show notes. No one has better credentials than Peter McCullough. No one has better credentials than Dr. Sukrit Bhakti. No one has better credentials. These people treat patients. I don't know if Sukrit Bhakti, yeah, I think Sukrit Bhakti does, but Dr. Simon Gold, Dr. Vladimir Zelenko. Oh, and there's one doctor, I think his name is Peter Rentz. He's offering $2 million to anyone who, this is what Dr. Peter McCullough said. He said there are 500 doctors. There are 1 million doctors in the United States, and there's a circle of 500 doctors who are going against the established narrative regarding the sea and how you deal with it, how you treat it. Only 500. Can you imagine? But those 500, and if you look at the interview in my show notes with Dr. Peter McCullough, you will see a list of many things, because the person who put it up on Rumble, he has a list of many links that you want to check out and many doctors that you want to check out. So there's a doctor named Peter, let me see if I can find it. I think his name is Peter Rentz, that has offered $2 million to anyone who can prove that the V's are not detrimental. And no one will come forward to take up that bet, to take up that wager. No one will come forward to do that. There are fighters out there. There are those of us who are fighting, yes, trying to get the right information to as many people as possible. But the majority of people, there are like 1 million doctors who are going along with the established narrative. And the established narrative is harming people, is killing people, literally, and people are suffering because of it. False narratives will keep this virus, oops, I said it, false narratives will keep this going on forever. As I said, Pfizer already said that they want to go in, that they anticipate this going into 2024. Now, who is this guy who is the head of NIH? What's his name? Francis Collins. Today is his last day. He's retiring. He was on with Brett Baer, and he's pushing this business. And in fact, Fauci was just on with Chuck Todd on Meet the Press. These folks are pushing this business, but I think more and more people, even the people who have gotten the V at least once or maybe twice, they're not going to get it again because they're seeing and they're trying to say, and yet they're still blaming the un-V. And you just see that, what's her name? Cory Booker and Elizabeth Warren, who are both V and B, are testing positive. Now, you can't even trust the test either. Why? We went over that about the PCR test. So you don't know what's going on. We don't know unless someone has symptoms, you don't know if they're positive or not. Right? Right. So let's see, what else do I want to say? Dr. McCullough said that this is a fraudulent scheme that is going on against the people of the world. It's all the leaders of the democracies. You see, they're trying to get rid of democracy for some reason, or trying to control it. And it's amazing how you see what's going on in Australia and Austria and Germany. And they're fighting it in Italy. There are protests throughout Europe. In fact, in Italy, they burned down a warehouse that was housing the V's. So we, the people, are fighting. Yes, we, the people, are seeing the truth, and we know that that's not what everyone thinks is going. We're being lied to. We're being lied to. Okay, let me bring up something else. So I talked about the title of the show. How come we can never talk about natural immunity? Another thing I want to say is, let's see. If you get it, this is the thing. If you've had it once, you can't get it again. You have permanent immunity. You can't get it twice. That's another thing. Oh, this is the number I want to. These are the data points I wanted to point out. There were 182 deaths after 27 million Vs given by January 22nd. Yet there was no safety review program set up to say, oh, that's the standard this is the standard that has been the standard for 20 years, with 278 million shots each year. If you have 150 deaths, you can't have that. It doesn't meet the safety standard. And yet with this, we had 182 deaths from 27 million shots by January 22nd. There's my Merry Christmas music. I hope all of my Truth Warriors have a very Merry Christmas. Call in and tell me how has your Christmas season been going thus far. So we'll be right back.
Hi, as a Truth Warrior listener, I want you to, each and every one of you, donate $1. This is Antoinette, and I'm going to do it. You need to do it. Go to the website, the Naked Truth Report. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Did you see that full moon out there? Wasn't that fantastic? Hey, listen, so what I want to say is what? The truth, the fake news needs to be controlled and the information needs to be given back to the people. It's we, the people. They're not after Trump, they're after us. Trump told us that before. The deep state players and fake news will not be able to control the information once Trump's social media platform begins, which is in January. That's going to be interesting. The other thing I want to say, you notice all the Democrats who are not running for re-election. Who, for instance, I think right here in, what's her name? Jackie Spire, and also this Democrat, Alan Lowenthal. He represents Long Beach. He's not running again. Also, DeVazio in Oregon is not running again. A lot of Democrats are not running again. They see the writing on the wall. Something is coming down the pike. Yes, something is coming down the pike. Let's see. The Santa Fe police said that they would like to get they have a search warrant to get Alec Baldwin's cell phone. That's interesting. What do you think would be on Alec Baldwin's cell phone? That will be interesting, don't you think? The government has assumed the role of the parent. The people who win are the people with the truth. The truth is powerful, and this is an American reawakening. Yes, we needed to go through this for whatever reason. This is a good thing. I'm optimistic. My nature is optimistic, but I'm optimistic. I'm looking forward to January. Let's just make it through Christmas, right? And January, the new year, will be great things. And yet Biden wants it to be dark for the American people. He wants it to be a cold winter. Why don't I take a call now from Linda in Burbank. Hi, Linda. Welcome to the Naked Truth Report. I said, I'm sorry. I'm laughing because my engineer wasn't on. He's getting it. Okay. Hi, Linda. Welcome to the Naked Truth Report.
Hello. First, before I say what I'm going to say, do I have to say the letters like you do, or can I say the whole word?
No, say the letters.
Okay.
Hey, listen, do you guys know what I mean by the letters? Do you know what letters I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay. There's a website that has a petition to stop the V mandates.
Oh, tell us the name of the website.
The website is freedomtochooseusa.com.
Okay, freedomtochooseusa.com. And also, you know that there's going to be a march on Washington January 23rd to stop the V mandate. This is going to be interesting. But you're kind of concerned because you think there's going to be some shenanigans like they did with the January 6th, infiltrating and so on and so forth. Right, Linda?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You can't trust anything anymore. Thanks, Linda, for calling in. Okay, Brent, welcome to the Naked Truth Report.
Hello, a courageous and victorious Christmas, Kathleen.
Merry Christmas. And happy Hanukkah to you.
And thank you.
You're welcome.
But all of us should be celebrating all the holidays, anything backing God right now. We're all in a foxhole together.
Yes.
And so we can discuss the various theologies later, but our fundamental morality is all the same.
Right.
And I'm thinking, since this is Christmas, I look back at I consider this a wartime Christmas, like we've had before in our history. George Washington fought at Trenton on Christmas, and then General George Patton fought the Battle of the Bulge during Christmas. And I think we need to have a victory this Christmas.
Well, we're in an information war, that's for sure. We're in information warfare.
Yeah, absolutely. It's psyops, and people are dying, though. Hundreds of thousands of people are literally dying because it's illegal to give them the drugs that will cure them, like ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine. Mm-hmm. And so rather than me using the V word, I'm just going to be calling it it's now the mRNA rape stab.
Oh, okay.
Or we can call it the poison shot, as Dr. Vladimir Zelenko calls it.
Well, it's just a shame that we have to use code words. It's only because I want to download to YouTube. I do have YouTube listeners, and they say things like, "Oh, we missed you. Where have you been?" Because I'll go months without downloading the YouTube because they delete or whatever. But I would like my listeners, my subscribers, if they'll hear this if I'm able to download it, to migrate over to Rumble. And Rumble is now, starting in January, going to be partnering with Truth Social. So we'll have an information platform for the people, for the American people. That won't be censored.
Yeah, that'll be good, and put it directly on your website so people can go to your website. People can always get it if they actually know where to go and get it.
Right. Actually, I have everything on my website. Go to hey, listeners, give me a Merry Christmas, please, and subscribe to I know you did, Brent. Thank you very much.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I did. Okay.
Yes, Brent. Thank you very much. Go to you're giving me a Christmas present. And I really appreciate it. Go subscribe to my website because I have blog posts there, and I'm also having an upcoming newsletter. And you supporting me will enable me to get more sponsors. When they see that I have a lot of subscribers on my website, I will get more sponsors for the show. You guys know I haven't had rent in 2 years. Okay, I have to eat more than hot dogs. So please go to my website. This is your gift to me for Christmas, and subscribe. Thank you very much. Okay, Brent, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, and I just wanted to talk about some other doctors. And I want to support you with Dr. Peter McCullough. He's amazing, but he also gave an interview to Brett Weinstein, Weinstein. I don't know if you saw that. Uh-huh. And it's 70 minutes, and he speaks there of Dr. Jessica Rose, who I'm not sure if you've mentioned her. She's an amazing lady who did a deep dive study into the VAERS system, and has been showing just how deadly and dangerous this is. And right now, we, in effect, are subjecting millions of Americans, especially children, to be needlessly and premeditatively murdered, crippled, sickened, and sterilized with the mRNA rape stab. Mm-hmm. And so these people are just coming out with more and more information. I'm thinking the other... on a website by a man named Avi Abelo, I don't know if you're familiar with him, Pulse of Israel. Mm-hmm. He has many doctors on his show, especially for this. And he has a Dr. David Wiseman, Wiseman. He's somebody else you want to be watching interviews with. And Avi Abelo has a 3-hour interview with him. And it's just about the criminality and the overriding of safety concerns. It's just, this has become really dark and nefarious, and a lot of people are now beginning to see it.
Yes, it's very dark and nefarious. Very, very. The fact that, let's see, today we are up to 18,000 deaths, and this is according to VAERS. And you can multiply that, this is what Peter McCullough says, by 4 or 5 times. Today we're up to 18,000 deaths and 30,000 permanently disabled and 250,000 emergency room visits, healthcare event related to the V.
And that's all they've discovered. But
Exactly.
But in addition to that is at least the 500,000 that I think that our government has murdered by not allowing them to have ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine.
Right.
And so doctor after doctor is talking about how many people have died because they were not able to be treated easily and inexpensively and safely. Also, there's another lady. Do you know Karen Kingston?
No.
Okay. Kingston, she's an ex-Pfizer employee, and she was actually in the sales division, and her expertise is in the business aspect of what's going on. And she's come out in incredible opposition, showing that everything they're doing, all the testing systems, are just so messed up that they stopped doing testing with animals, and they're doing now the testing with our children.
Oh yes, it's a test with the children. She may be the FDA whistleblower. Peter McCullough talked about an FDA whistleblower who filed a lawsuit for all the people that died after getting the V, and this lawsuit is being filed by attorney Tom Rentz. Yes. Yeah, we're all getting our information. Yes, we're all doing our research. They just lie on Washington Journal. It's all lies. They have lies about the January 6th. They have lies about the V, and they have lies about the 2020 E.
Well, yeah, and please, from a legal perspective, keep bringing up the Nuremberg laws relative to this, and that this is, experimental medication that is being put on people against without their knowledge. So there isn't informed consent.
Exactly. And in fact, it goes against the Nuremberg Code. In fact, the woman who was representative for the EU wants to get rid of the Nuremberg Code. You see what they're doing?
Yeah.
I can't believe we're living through that. Well, it's exciting times. Thanks for calling in, Brett. Now let's take a call from, let me see. Hi, Angela. Welcome to the Naked Truth Report.
Hey, Kathleen. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And what I have to say is going to sound like a joke, but I heard it on the radio. I can't remember what show because I'm just like walking through listening to everybody. But the reason the illegals don't have to get the injection is because the manufacturers are afraid they may get sued for the side effects.
Yes, I heard that also. And I guess
gosh, I'm so glad.
Yeah, I heard that also. And I'm thinking they can't sue them because they're not Americans. They're not citizens.
Well, they think that they can sue them. At least that's
I mean, yeah, I'm saying they can sue. I meant to say they can sue them because they're not citizens.
Right. And so it's, I mean, isn't this like completely crazy? They're admitting that they have side effects, essentially, and so they're afraid to give it to illegals.
Well, and they would be sued because people would, they would be sued. You see what happened? They're being sued already, the government, and remember when Biden said, oh, no, he was so incredulous. It's like, no, we're not giving illegal aliens $450,000. And then the next day he was like, oh, okay, yeah, we are.
Yeah, well, that's just, he's just like a little crazy. And I heard his name from some rabbis being Last Judgment. I don't know.
What do you mean you heard his name from some rabbi?
I heard that his name means Last Judgment.
Oh, Biden?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Isn't that the irony, huh?
Exactly. And Kamala, illusion and destruction, and oh my gosh.
Well, it's all kind of interesting, isn't it? The symbolism of everything.
Actually, it's a puzzle that's being put together.
What do you mean?
Well, kind of biblically, I think it's like the Lord's moving all the pieces into place.
Many people believe that's what's going on. It's interesting that we're all living through this, right?
Right.
Yeah. How do you think it's going to turn out?
Hey, we win in the end. Amen. Thank you, Jesus.
Right. We're all hoping. I mean, I can't say anything. You have to have faith and belief.
Yeah, and besides the EUA, it's illegal because we have therapeutics, over 20 of them. We had them before they even gave the EUA the EUA.
Oh, yeah. And that's why it violates the Nuremberg codes.
Yeah.
Right, crimes against. There's so hey folks, when you go to my website and go to show notes, and under show notes you will see the interview with Peter McCullough and Joe Rogan, and in that interview it's downloaded to Rumble. He has a list of doctors, some of the doctors probably Brent mentioned, and he has a list of links of information, and I think it's valuable information, and you want to check it out. So go to the website and check out that particular Rumble. And
there's one more name that I want to give you, and then when you find out what he says, you're just going to go, whoa. I'm not even going to mention it, but his name is Dr. Brian with a Y, Ardis, Ardis. Mm-hmm. And listen to him, and he's just like, wow. If you can get him on the show, that would be so great.
Where's he located?
I think he might be in Texas.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to try to get. I started following Simone Gold on Twitter, so I'm trying to get her. I'm going to try to get Peter McCullough. I'm going to try to get whoever I can. I would love to get Robert F. Kennedy Jr. on. He talked about the fact that the intelligence agencies are involved with the Wuhan link. And see, this goes back decades. This all didn't start with us. These deep state players have been doing this. This is what has happened. Trump just made us realize what was going on.
Well, yeah, he put little cracks in what they thought were their big little walls and stuff. So.
Yeah, we've been all going through this oblivious, sleeping through life, not realizing how we were being controlled by these folks.
Well, yeah, I think I woke up after Obama, after his first term, I woke up.
Because you were so disappointed?
Yeah, I was just like, no, this isn't, what's going on is not right.
Right.
Everything. It's just like.
Yeah, and
out of it, I got.
Yeah, like the LGBTQ stuff and the illegal alien stuff.
Well, I took a step out of the Matrix,
Yeah,
so.
It's like being in the Matrix, right?
Yeah.
And, and when you watch, for one of those shows I watch, when you watch TV, I watch things to sort of get information to come back for my show and talk about it. Because I like to know what's going on, like the culture, what's going on in the
propaganda.
Yeah, I'd like to see it. And now I'm sort of observing it from a different place, like from the outside.
I know what you're doing, and I think it's tough. I mean, I can do that once in a while, but it just like drives me too crazy.
But I was watching that show. I don't know if you've ever watched it, like TLC.
Oh,
do you watch those programs on TLC ever?
I think, is that the one with that guy who used to be a lawyer that I can't remember. They just go around and taking pictures of celebrities and stuff?
No, that's TMZ.
Oh, okay.
TLC has like 90 Day Fiance, and then they have this show called I Am Jazz, where this man, he was a little boy, and he was transsexual. He's now a woman. And he's gained you got to check it out. I watched it for the first time. She's a she now. She's a trans. She's gained 100 pounds, and they can't listen. Since she was 5 years old, she's been wanting to change her gender. And they've been following her since then. I don't know if she was 5, but when she was very young, like 11 or something. And now she's 20. And now she's gained like 100 pounds. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
She needs to be on like 6. I don't want to laugh at people overweight because they have more likelihood to be susceptible to this big C business, you know.
But you don't know if the she gained weight because of the surgeries or maybe it is because of everything, the hormonal stuff and all that.
Oh, probably that, and also mental. She's distressed. I mean, because she got the bottom surgery, as they call it, so she got that removed. Listen, her mother started putting him on hormone blockers in her preteen years. But this is,
See, that's just like wrong, completely wrong abuse. Wait until they're 18. If they still want to do it, they can do whatever they want.
But this goes back to, how they're shaping the culture. Remember, I saw the data point that 30% of millennials now believe they are LGBTQ. The reason why is because they have programs like I Am Jazz. Because
they're indoctrinated.
They're indoctrinated by the TV. Because 2 years ago, in 2018, it was only 8% of millennials believed they were LBGQ2. LBG. Now it's 30%. So a third of millennials believe they're LGBTQ. That's because they watch I Am Jazz. Do you see?
Yeah, well, they think it's cool too, and
right.
they don't know what cool is.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Andrea. I'll take the Angela. Sorry, Angela. Thanks for calling in. Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah. Oh, hi, David. Welcome to the Naked Truth Report.
Yeah, just calling to see what the purpose is of this show. All I hear is just like kind of conspiracies and stuff like that. Like,
wait, slow down. You
said you can't get COVID more than once, though.
But honey, David, listen. Slow down. You said slow down.
I am.
Okay, you said all you hear is a conspiracy. That term conspiracy theory was started by the CIA to cover up the JFK assassination. Did you know that?
But what does that have to do with COVID and you saying that you can't get it twice?
Slow down. Okay, slow down. Go to my website, thenakedtruthreport.com, and go to my show notes and listen to my interview with Dr. Peter McCullough and Joe Rogan, and then come back and talk to me about it.
I listen to Joe Rogan. I am a comedian. I know everything about Joe Rogan.
No, I didn't say, do you know, did I ask you what do you know about Joe Rogan? I asked you to listen to an interview. Listen, slow down.
I will. No, I've listened to a lot of Joe Rogan. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, so that's why I said go to the show notes, the nakedtruthreport.com. Go to the show notes. It's a 3-hour interview with Dr. Peter McCullough. Listen to that interview and then call me back and we can discuss it. Does that sound fair?
Sounds fair.
Okay, I'm fair. Because you're
fair, but I just,
there's no but.
That a lot of people are getting some information that's not.
No, there's no but. If you haven't listened to the interview with Dr. Peter McCullough, a 3-hour comprehensive interview, there's no but. You have to listen to the interview first before you can even discuss it.
Okay, well, just the whole, I just don't know what this show is about because wait a minute, slow down. You're saying get beat, and then you're talking about LGBT and all this kinds of stuff, so I don't know, what are you just trying to act like you're a part of this cancel culture situation? Because you're really not. You know what I mean? So
no, I don't know what you mean. But do you just want to hear yourself talk? Because I don't know what you mean. I instructed you to go listen to an interview before you start rambling on.
You listen to a 3-hour interview from no one that no one's heard of?
No one has heard of Dr. Peter McCullough?
Other than Joe Rogan?
No one's heard of Dr. Peter McCullough?
I've heard of Peter McCullough, but I'm just saying, come on now, let's be real.
Oh, come on, like Joe Biden. Come on, man. Let's be real. Oh, let's be real. Oh, that's so profound. Let's be real. Let's be real. Come on, man. Let's be real. Listen, honey, these are serious issues, and you're not serious.
I'm 100% serious.
If you were serious, you would have listened to the interview with Dr.
Some of the stuff you're saying.
No, because you're not a serious person. You're not a serious person.
You're not a serious person either, though. Some of the stuff you say is just so off the wall crazy.
To an unserious person, I'm not serious. You're a comedian, honey. You're a comedian.
So, who cares?
Obviously, you care.
Serious person. You're a radio personality on Sunday night, and you're saying you need more sponsors and stuff. You're the funny one to me.
But why would you call into my show? Why are you even listening then?
I heard you say you can't get COVID more than once.
Why are you even listening?
because when you said that was dangerous information, and I just
no, that's your opinion. I don't. The opinion of a comedian, but the opinion of a comedian is irrelevant to me. Do you understand that?
Joe Rogan, who is also a comedian, you told me to go listen to.
Because he had on Dr. Peter McCullough. Hello, you're silly. Bye, bye, David. Bye.